I am Animatronic Nancy.
And we are J&N Travels.
John and Nancy are working this weekend and they did not want to miss being a part of this Papathon, so Disney was very generous to lend us these dummies.
J&N Travels is a YouTube travel channel with a little bit of sports thrown in. Please check us out.
John, if you're near a computer, please say hello in the chat.
If you are new, please hit the subscribe button and ring the bell. Also, please hit the thumbs up.
Now, why are we here? Alan, or Papa Mozo to most of you, has been a big supporter of the travel community. Papa Mozo has had a serious accident which has put his family in a tough situation. We are all here to lighten his burden. It's time for us to support him.
For the rest of the hour, we have created a mix of some old and some new games of Name This. Make sure to put your answers in the chat. John will be checking them later, and he'll be grading them.
And if you can, please donate to the GoFund. The link is below. Now it's time for the Papa Mozo pause. This is the time that we remind everyone of why we are here. Please help out if you can. The link to donate is down below.
All right, Nancy, now to begin the game, let's start with the category Name This Shoe.
Sounds good to me.
Okay. So can you people out there name this shoe? Who did this shoe belong to? We'll give you a few seconds here, and then we'll give you the answers. We're going to try and go through these fairly rapidly so that we can get a lot of them in. Please put your answer in the chat. And the answer to this one is, do you know whose shoe this is, Nance?
I think it's Al Capone.
It is Al Capone's.
Hey! 1 for 1.
1 for 1. Moving on to the next one. Name this shoe. This shoe is from a scene from a movie. So if you could give me the movie name, look at it, study it, and put your answer in the chat. Now, John will be going back through the chat after all this is over and keeping score to see who got the most right. So please put your answer in the chat. Any idea who this is, Nance?
No, I'm not familiar with this one.
It's way out there. It's from a movie that's way out there. No? No guess?
No.
The answer to this one is from the movie Aliens.
Oh.
Your next one, name this shoe. If you can't see it, that's a black shoe sitting in, it looks like parsley or some kind of a dish of food, right? And this is from a movie. Can you name the movie or the name of the main character from the movie?
I have no clue on this one.
Well, you seem to like Maxwell Smart, so this is along that same lines. It's kind of a goofy spy type of thing. Any guesses?
Goofy spy type of movie. Would it be...
Well, let's see. I don't see a bunch of answers in the chat on this one. And the answer is, this has always been a tough one. This is from Austin Powers.
Oh,
Austin Powers wore that shoe. This is one of my favorite type of movies or my favorite genre. That's actually a female wearing those shoes. She'd click the bottom and that blade would come out. Any idea?
Well, I know you like The Spy Who Loved Me. Maybe I'm going to guess that.
Well, it's the same genre, and if you're guessing James Bond, you're correct. If you want to really get bonus points and guess the name of the movie, it's Russia with Love.
Oh, I didn't see that movie. I don't like the spy movies as much as you do, so.
And almost as famous as
James. So who was the actress that wore those?
I don't know. Can only see her feet. And this actor or personality is almost as well known as James Bond, 007. Whose shoe is that?
That's a really famous shoe because he did a lot of shoeies.
He did a lot of shoes, and he'll probably do a lot more. We may actually get to see him do a shoey in real life at some point.
Hey.
And I'm sure everyone knows that this is Raphael from Vizzo's Travel. That's his famous shoe. This actress, who had a much younger point in her life, she played a streetwalker in this movie. I'm trying to think of the actress's name. That's
oh, I know who she is.
What's the actress? What?
Julia Roberts.
Julia Roberts, right? And what was the name of this movie that she played in?
I think it's Pretty Woman, right?
That's correct. It's Pretty Woman. You can see the boots that she was typical of. Next one, very well known. don't give the answer away yet, but do you know what this one is?
How could I not?
Yeah. Any Disney fan or any fan of old classic movies will love. They're actually remaking this again on, I forget which service it is. It's coming out in another month. And do you know who? Go ahead. Who is this?
Well, Cinderella, of
That's
course.
right. Cinderella. Let's get those answers quicker in the chat. That's a boot worn by a character
Oh, I know who this is.
in the movie.
I love this movie. And I love the character.
There was, I think, 4 of these movies, sequels to it. And it gives you a hint that's the boot from a pirate. Does anyone know the pirate's name?
Jack Galloway.
Nope. Good guess.
Jack.
You get the jackpot right.
Jack Sparrow.
Jack Sparrow, correct.
What was I thinking? Jack Galloway.
I don't know. I'm not even sure what it belonged to. Now, this is a very unusual shoe. It almost looks like a snake pattern, doesn't it?
I know, it does.
This belongs to a singer, a performer. And actually,
Oh, I know
she
who it
did a
is.
pretty good job as an actress in the American Horror movies
Yeah,
series
I
or something
think
like
she's
that.
got talent.
She
I
played
like
the vampiress.
I like her music, and I liked her in the movie. I don't want to give it away because that might give it away.
Well, you can.
The movie.
What movie are you
A
talking about?
Star is Born.
She was in that? Oh,
The remake.
I didn't realize she was in that. Okay. Who is it?
Lady Gaga.
That's correct. Lady Gaga. And the final
and
one
Bradley Cooper
was
in
what?
A Star is Born.
Oh, okay. And the final shoe in the shoe category, very famous shoes. Not one of my favorite movies, but it's a very popular movie of all time.
I love this movie. And I love seeing the shoes because they're at the Smithsonian. Actually, you saw them with me.
Okay. And who they belong to?
Dorothy, of course.
And what movie?
The Wizard of Oz.
That's right. These are Dorothy's shoes from The Wizard of Oz. And that
infamous
concludes the
ruby red slippers.
shoe category. Okay, now it's time for the Papa Mozo pause. This is a time when we remind everyone of why we are here. Please help out if you can. The link to donate is below. Okay, Nance, our next category is Name This Famous Nancy. Are you ready to go?
Yeah.
And remember, put your answers into the chat so that everyone else could see them and I could take score
her
later.
as a character.
Starred in, well, I didn't star in, but it was kind of a sidekick in the Beverly Hillbillies.
Oh, she was funny. Every time I see a bird that's a yellow belly sapsucker, I think of her. She's like, oh, there's a yellow belly sapsucker with her binoculars.
And what is her name?
Jane Hathaway.
But what was the actress name?
Nancy Culp.
Right. Very good. The next Nancy.
Oh, how could we forget this Nancy?
Of course, very famous for the incident where she got her leg injured.
Yep.
And I'm trying to think of the one who injured it. That was
Tanya Harding.
Tanya Harding, that's right.
Oh, I think that should give it away now. We all know what Tanya Harding did.
So what's her name?
Nancy Kerrigan.
That's correct. Make sure to put these answers in the chat. This is probably going to be a little bit tougher. I wouldn't even get.
I know. I think I know who this is.
What was the show that she starred in?
Facts of Life.
Is that what it's called? Facts of Life. Yeah. And she was one of the 4 girls or 5 girls that lived in the girls' school or girls' home, boarding house. And do you remember her real name, the actress' name? We know the first one's Nancy.
I wanted to say Nancy Travis, but that's somebody else.
No.
That's the other, but. Oh, I used to know her name. I don't remember her now. I keep getting her confused with Nancy Travis.
It's Nancy McKeon.
Nancy McKeon.
And this one is another popular, well, she's popular, but she's known on TV.
And she's a famous Nancy.
I'm not even sure what she does more news type of stuff, right?
Oh, I think I know who this is. But is it Nancy O'Dell?
No.
Is it Nancy Grace?
Yes,
Okay.
Nancy Grace is the correct answer.
Okay.
And the next Nancy, who you probably wouldn't know.
No, I don't know this
I've
one.
actually seen her play. She was very big in college basketball player, and she made it to the WNBA. And her name is Nancy Lieberman. Oops. And our last one, a real popular Nancy.
Oh, everybody knows
Always
her.
in the news.
Her hair looks good. Maybe she had a blowout recently.
So what's her name?
Nancy Pelosi.
Nancy Pelosi. And that finishes off our Nancy's for the day. And then we move on to our next category.
Now it's time for the Papamozo pause. This is the time that we remind everyone of why we are here. Please help out if you can. The link to donate is down below.
Okay, Nancy, moving along on to our next category. Name this 70s TV show. Okay, so our first one was popular. Don't give the answer yet, but it was popular. Jack Ritter there, who died, right?
Yeah.
Suzanne Summers,
And his son looks just like him.
who
Oh my
pops in the
God.
news, and
his son's-
Joanne DeWitt, right? Or something like that?
Joyce.
Joyce DeWitt.
Hmm.
Can you name that show, Nance?
Well, of course. It's Three's Company, and I always teased my daughter because she had a Three's Company situation for 2 years.
Our next one. I absolutely hated this show.
I wasn't a big fan, but I watched it.
But it was held in a diner. It was another sitcom.
Yeah.
Actually, the name of the show is the character that's in the middle there.
Yeah.
The one on the left was Flo, right? And the one on the right, I don't know what her name was.
I don't either.
But what was the name of the show?
Alice.
That's right, Alice. I hope I'm going to look over to the chat and see some of these answers in there. Very popular show, and for its time was very controversial.
It was.
Can you imagine this show being shown nowadays?
Oh,
It'd be
gosh.
taken right off the air.
Yeah, it wouldn't happen. Yeah.
Trying to look and see who I actually saw. The daughter in the corner there, Sally Struthers, in a play up at the Ogunquit Playhouse in Maine. And what's the name of this show, Nance?
All in the Family.
That's correct.
Archie!
This next one was a spin-off of All in the Family.
Yeah.
And these people, they moved on up to the east side, west side?
They moved on up to the east side.
To the east side.
Moving on up
This was a very funny show. I like this show.
side, 'cause we gotta get a piece of the pie.
And what's the name of this?
The Jeffersons.
That's correct. The Jeffersons. Come on now, let's get putting those answers down in the chat. That looks like he's got a split personality, which he really did. Because of some kind of gamma ray or something, it transferred Bill Bixby on the left into this monster on the right. And what is the name of this monster on the right, or this show?
Oh, I like this show. I thought it was good. It's the Hulk.
The Hulk, that's correct. Next one. This was a fun show at the time. I remember loving this show when I was growing up. You know, you always had the guy who was probably this guy, the Fonzie, who was supposed to be the cool guy
Oh, yeah.
of the group, and then there's kind of
Hey.
straight sidekick and best buddy there, Richie Cunningham.
Good old Ronnie Howard.
This took place, I'd say, what, the 50s, 60s, that genre, that era?
I'd say it was that.
So, what is the name of this show, Nance?
Well, I hope all those folks out there have all the happy days.
That's right, Happy
of you.
Days. And the last show from the 70s TV, one of my favorite, we still have a big mirror with the characters painted on them in our house.
Yeah, I bought that for you when we were dating.
Alan Alda and Wayne Rogers and what's her first name? Swit, right? Something Swit. I can't remember her first name.
I forget it too. Lorraine.
Lorraine Swit? No, something Swit. But anyways, what's the name of the show, Nance?
MASH.
That is right. And that concludes 1970s TV. Now it's time for the Papamozo pause. This is a time when we remind everyone of why we are here. Please help out if you can. The link to donate is below. Okay, Nance, moving along. Our next category is name this famous elf. But it's funny when I was putting this together. It's interesting how many famous elves are out there. You wouldn't know that. So our first famous elf, everyone should know this guy.
Makes me want a cookie.
Yeah, it does make you want a cookie, doesn't it?
Yeah, those chocolate covered ones.
Remember where he lived?
In a tree?
That's right. What's his name? What's this elf's name?
The Keebler elf.
The Keebler elf, that's correct. This next elf is from a series of movies. I don't know much about him because I never saw the series of movies. Do you know the name of this elf?
I don't think it's Gandolfi, but I'm not sure.
I'm trying to think of what the series was. It the
Lord of the Rings.
It was Lord of the Rings series. Okay, yeah. Well, his name, and I don't see it a lot in the chat right now, is Legolas.
Oh, I would never have guessed.
No,
because I didn't read the books, and I only saw the movie once.
Yeah, we saw once, and we really weren't paying much attention. It was very old. It was very long, I should say. What kind of dolls are these? They're well known.
I used to know about those.
They're not exactly the most attractive dolls, but they are well known. And I think they're basically at Christmas time, right?
Yeah.
I don't think you usually see them anywhere but around Christmas time.
Yeah.
Do you know what they're called?
I used to know. I don't remember though.
They are Annalee.
Oh, Annalee.
Annalee dolls, I guess. The next elf is very, very well known, I would think. This is one of my favorite Christmas movies. This is with Farrell, right?
Will Ferrell.
Farrell starred in it.
Will Ferrell, right? I said that right.
And very funny movie. Do you remember the name of the movie or what the name of this elf was? What his name was?
The name of the movie was Elf.
That's correct. I'm sure most people got that one right.
Yeah.
This little guy wanted to be a dentist.
I know. What was his name?
He was
I think I might know.
He was in the Rudolph movies.
I think I might know. I'm not sure, but I'm going to guess.
And he saved the day because remember he pulled a tooth that was bothering the abominable snowman, right?
No, he was going to be a good dentist.
He was. He became a great dentist. What's his name? Do you remember his first name?
It's Timmy.
No.
No? Oh.
Close, but no.
Tommy?
No.
Oh.
It's Hermie.
Oh, Hermie. Okay.
And the last one in the elf category, another one that everyone should get. It's from a cereal.
But I don't know the elf's name.
Crackle, Pop. It's from what belong on what cereal box?
So he's called Crackle?
He's Snap.
Oh, he's Crackle.
He's Pop, and he's Crackle.
Oh.
Can you guess what cereal they're from?
Rice Krispies.
That is correct. Very good.
Now it's time for the Papamozo pause. This is the time that we remind everyone of why we are here. Please help out if you can. The link to donate is down below. Okay,
Nancy, I'm moving from the elves to something completely different, and this brings us back to our missing cruise days, is name this Caribbean port, okay? These are cruise ports. Let's see if you can name them by the picture that's shown. Don't forget to put your answers and guesses in the chat. We'll be checking on you later.
This might be challenging. It is for me.
Yeah, this is tough. Now, this one we've done several times. This is an old fort museum, and there's a dolphin swim over here.
Okay, I think I know.
When you cross over there, and this is a very popular one for us, but I don't know how many other people recognize it. What do you think it is?
Oh, it has to be Bermuda.
That's right, Bermuda. Port of Bermuda. This one, the only way I recognize this is by the buildings, those red roof buildings there, and a couple of big ships in port that day. Do you happen to know which one this is? This is one we went to when we were delayed.
I think I know.
When our ship broke down, remember they couldn't make it to one of the ports. They ended up going to this port instead.
So this must be Grenada.
Grenada, right. Well, people, put your answers in the chat. This we have not been to, but we will be going there next year. Looks like a nice port. It looks like there might be some stuff to do in the area, so we don't have to walk that far. But I guess unless you actually took a ship there, you probably wouldn't recognize this port. You want to just take a guess at it, Nance?
Is it Aruba?
It is Aruba.
Oh, that's a good
Aruba is
guess.
the answer. So if you picked Aruba, you are correct. Boy, this is probably,
I know this one.
yeah, I don't guess it yet, but this is probably one of the more distinctive ports, but just by that long pier.
Yeah,
It was a nice walk too. It looks a lot longer than it felt.
yeah.
It was carpeted about halfway through it, and then you have those beautiful buildings at the very end of it.
Yeah.
And we basically just walked around the downtown area.
Yeah, it was very pretty.
Very safe port.
Yeah.
What's the name of this port, Nance?
Martinique?
That is right. You're right, Ben. Martinique. If you've been to this port, you're probably going to remember it just because of the colors
Yeah,
and
it was cool.
the design of that welcome building
Yeah.
and the colors. This is the one where we had the big encounter with the monkeys. So
Yeah, the green monkeys. Yeah.
I think we've been there twice. The monkeys were on one, and then another one we did a excursion, didn't we?
Yep.
Snorkel excursion, right?
Yep.
And what's the name of this port, Nance?
St. Kitts.
That is right, St. Kitts. This last one's a nice looking port. I have never been there, and you have. It's
okay.
It's a place that I would like to visit. I've tried to get there twice now, and for some reason the port was canceled and they moved on to a different one. But you were there once. You actually sailed from this port.
Yeah.
If anyone can recognize it, there's over on the right side there. There's an old fort that you can walk to.
Yeah.
And I think that part of is it called Old Town, or what is that called?
It's called Old, and should I say the name of the port?
Oh, okay, so you can say it now.
Old San Juan.
So that's what's called as Old San Juan. Okay, so it is the port of San Juan. All right, that concludes
Puerto Rico.
That's right, Puerto Rico. And that ends the category of Name This Port. We will move on to our next one. Now it's time for the Papa Mozo Pause. This is a time when we remind everyone of why we are here. Please help out if you can. The link to donate is below. Okay, Nancy, moving right along, we're going to move back into the TV genre, and we'll name this 60s TV show. This one here was one of my favorites. We didn't see this when it first came out, but not that old, but it was definitely in our younger days, if you remember. And that was Gomer, the character on the right, Bonnie, of course, famous Bonnie Fife, and the middle one is what the show is named after. What is his name, Nance?
Oh, Andy Griffith.
Right. The next one I never watched a lot. I'm actually watching more in reruns nowadays than I did back then. Do you remember him?
Yeah, I remember the show, but I didn't watch much of it. But I remember it to know the name.
The tall guy on the right was he Herman Munster?
Yeah, he was Herman Munster.
Yeah, later on.
Yeah.
Does anyone remember this show? Throw the answer in the chat. I'm searching through the chat later to keep score. And the name of this show, do you want to take a guess, Nance?
Well, the famous saying was, Car 54, where are you?
That's right. Car 54, where are you? Excellent. And this is funny because this was not the Munsters, but it was a very similar show that came out at the same time. Do you remember that?
Yep.
Two spooky families. I can't even name the characters, can you? Other than Lurch. We all know Lurch, right?
It was Pudgy and Tuesday.
Okay, Pudgy's the one in the front, right?
So.
And Tuesday's the daughter over in the. And what was the?
Tuesday or Wednesday?
I don't know. You got me going. I'm only gonna try and name them.
I'm confused. I thought it was Tuesday.
So what's the name of this show, Nance?
The Addams Family.
Very good. This woman was a real witch, and she drove this poor guy, sales guy, crazy. Did you like this show? I never really cared for this myself. Did you?
Yes.
And what was the name of this show?
Bewitched, and I'm a fan of Elizabeth Montgomery's.
Yep. I think every dolphin you see you name after this show, right? It's very popular. When I was a kid, we traveled down to where they filmed this and watched. They did a little scene from it.
Yeah, that was the theme song to the.
And the name of this dolphin was
Flipper,
right.
Flipper, Flipper, under the sea.
Well,
sea,
close enough, Nancy.
Is that not right?
It's close enough. This show and Hogan's Heroes I used to like a lot. In fact, Ernest Borgnine on the left there, actually both of them, right?
Oh, Tim Conway.
Tim Conway have been very popular all through with movies and comedies and different things like that.
They're good actors.
This is a good show. And what is the name of this show, Nance?
McHale's Navy.
That's correct. I'm surprised this one's in colored.
Oh, I like this show.
Don't remember this show ever being in color.
I don't either.
Must have updated during the running of it.
Yeah.
You get Bill Bixby on the left, who later on became the counter ego.
The Hulk.
Yeah, the Hulk when he wasn't the Hulk.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the actor on the right is.
I don't either.
I forget what his name was. But he crash landed on Earth.
Right. He was.
And pretended he was Bill Bixby's uncle.
That's right.
And Uncle what? Do you remember what his name was? Uncle Martin. And what was the name of this show?
My Favorite Martian.
My Favorite Martian, correct. Can anyone name this show? He went on to play in a lot of dramatic type of TV shows later on. And they tried redoing this show a couple times, but it failed both times. This is a guy that he came home, his wife had been murdered, and he was accused of it. So he was on the run, trying to find, remember the famous, was a one-armed man?
Yeah.
Or something like that? Who was supposedly the murderer or knew about the murder.
Yeah, I forget the name of this TV series.
This was called The Fugitive.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Fugitive.
And the last one in our 1960s TV category, boy, you're talking about two of the most famous comedians on the left side there. You had Mary Tyler Moore on the far left, and in the middle was Dick Van Dyke, of course.
He's still alive.
And you know what? I just slipped and gave the answer. So if someone didn't put the answer down there before I slipped, it is Dick Van Dyke.
The Dick Van Dyke Show.
Dick Van Dyke Show, right.
Now it's time for the Papamozo Pause. This is the time that we remind everyone of why we are here. Please help out if you can. The link to donate is down below.
Now we move on out of the TV realm to just the general name this superhero, Nance. See if you can recognize any superheroes. You're not into them as much as I am, but let's see if you can guess. Please put your answers or your guesses on this into the chat. Name this superhero. This is one of my favorite. Probably he's definitely in my top 5. You know who my favorite of all time is, Nance?
Captain America.
No, it's Spider-Man.
Oh, Spider-Man. Okay.
But he's up in my top 5. You know who this is?
I think it's Thor.
No, it's Aquaman.
Oh, really?
Yep.
No, I wouldn't have guessed.
The next one is a relatively new superhero, at least for the movies. The actor who played him is deceased now, but they're still trying to make a second film. Do you know what character this is or what superhero this is?
Dark Horse?
No. Black Panther.
Black Panther. I said Dark
Close
Horse.
enough, right?
Okay.
This one had a shield, indestructible shield, it seemed like, that he could fling and guide. And do you know who this is, Nance?
Captain America.
That's right. All right, this might be a little tougher for you guys out there. I think this superhero was blind, and he basically did everything with his senses. He was a superhero. Netflix did a series, TV series on it. There are also a couple movies starring him. Do you know who he is?
No.
That is the Daredevil.
Oh. Did they say how he got blind?
I forget. I really forget. I don't know if they showed it in the movie or not, or if he was born that way. I'm not really sure. This is an interesting one. I find it weird to call him a superhero. I think he came from hell, and they made a movie out of it. I can't think of the real. I only saw the movie once, and I can't really think of the whole storyline on it. But do you know what this character is? We'll call him a superhero for the benefit of this game. That's all fire. Kind of, if you can't make it out by the picture, he's on fire because he came from hell. He is
Gee.
the Ghost Rider.
Okay.
Oh, your favorite.
I know this one.
We have a little friend that visits us almost every night outside, and we named him after this character. Does look like this character when he's standing up on his hind legs eating off the table, doesn't he? Well, what's his name?
Oh, Rocket.
Rocket Raccoon.
From the movie Guardians of the Galaxy.
Right.
I love that movie.
I think there's two of them, right? And there's making a third one. I'm dying to see the ride down at Disney World, which is themed with these guys.
Yeah.
And this is someone everybody knows. If you're in the superheroes or not, you know who this is. Yeah, go ahead.
Superman.
You might as well guess it out since everyone's going to guess it anyways. That's right.
I think the Big S gave it away.
Well, because it stood for a few other things, so.
Like Silly Man?
Silly Man, yeah, yes. Okay, this was one of the Fantastic Four. You can see the four on his belt. Poor guy is the only one that became. Oh, they all get superpowers, and he turns into a rock creature. Has to go through life as a rock creature. Do you know his name? Like, actually, you can give me his real name or his character name.
Oh boy. No, I don't remember.
His real name before he turned was, I think, Ben, but he's called on the series The Thing.
He's called The Thing?
The Thing.
I didn't know that.
That's a tough thing to have to live by, huh?
Yeah.
Another one.
In Dr. Seuss, they had Thing 1 and Thing 2.
Yeah, not the same thing. They not the same thing. This he has standalone movies, plus he played in the movie with the whole group. So the one that had the blades that come out of his hands. You remember him?
Edward Scissorhands?
No, I think that's a good guess, but no, that's not it.
I didn't think it was, but...
No, this was the Wolverine.
No.
And actually, I think this is the only female I have in here. I should have gotten some more of them. But this was from her, not her latest movie, but the latest series of movies. She had some earlier ones. She had a TV show. She had a lasso that she wrapped around someone. They'd have to tell the truth, and she flew in an invisible plane.
Oh, okay.
And her name is what? Who do you think that is, Nance?
Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman, that's right. Now it's time for the Papa-Mozo pause. This is a time when we remind everyone of why we are here. Please help out if you can. The link to donate is below. All right, moving along, Nance, let's get on to something cute and furry. Name this animal, or actually it's name this TV animal. All right, the first one. The good guy that wore the bandit mask that would roam the West. The Lone Ranger, and you remember what his famous white horse's name was?
Silver.
That's right. Silver is the answer.
Hi-yo, Silver. Away.
Don't forget to throw your answers down in the chat. We will be checking them later. This was one of my favorite TV shows, and the little guy has since passed away.
Yeah.
Don't guess it yet, but that's, of course, Frazier sitting with his father's dog in his lap.
The real name was Moose.
That's right.
And
Which
it was
is
a
funny.
Jack Russell Terrier, right?
Is that what it was? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And what is his name, Nance?
Eddie.
Yeah, Eddie is his star name. This was from one of our daughter's favorite shows, right?
Oh my
Full
gosh,
House, right?
Emma loved. Yeah. She loved Full House.
Yeah. And that's one of the twins on the left side. But the dog on the right side, I would never have guessed this one. You probably know this name.
I do know it, yeah.
And can anyone guess? The name of the dog on the right side is
Comet.
Comet. Next one's not really furry, kind of a rough fur. I guess they're very smart animals, pigs, right?
Yeah.
I think they're very smart animals.
They are.
That's Eddie Albert, and that's a scene from the show Green Acres.
But they're not smart enough not to be slaughtered.
Well, they can't run that. They probably can't run fast enough to get away from that. So can anyone guess the character's name? What is the pig's name? Do you know what it is, Nance?
Arnold.
Arnold is the name. That's correct. That's correct. And this was from an old TV show called, I think it was Beretta.
It was.
Trying to think of the actor's name.
Robert Blake.
Robert Blake's right. He had some problems with the law, and that was a bird that he would have in several of his episodes.
What kind of bird is it?
I don't know what kind of, some kind of parrot, right? I don't know what the actual technical name is. But I was surprised with the name because I didn't remember this name. So can you name this TV animal's name? Do you know what it is, Nance?
No, I don't.
The answer is, I don't see many correct guesses in the chat, is Fred.
Fred?
Fred.
Oh my gosh.
This doesn't fit, does it?
No.
And with the current generation, this animal here probably is more well known. This is, of course, Ross from the TV show Friends, and that was his pet monkey, who got in all sorts of trouble in the episodes he was in, if you don't remember that.
Yeah, well.
Can you name of that animal? Name that monkey, I guess. You remember his name?
Marcel.
Marcel is correct.
Ooh.
What was her name? Joan Hart?
Sabrina.
Yeah.
Melissa Joan Hart.
Joan Hart, yeah. And she was, of course, a witch. Her family was witches. And that black cat was somehow, yeah, actually, the black cat was someone that was turned into the black cat, right? Wasn't it a human that was turned into the black cat?
I think that does sound familiar.
I think that was named. Do you remember? Can you name this animal? Do you know the name of the black cat?
I think I do.
All right, give it a shot.
I think it's Salem, right?
That is correct, Salem.
Yeah.
Well, I wonder where they got that name from.
I know, really.
Salem, Massachusetts, the hangout of the witches.
Yeah, I'd like to go there someday.
We keep saying that, and I'd love
Yeah,
to go
good
around
try.
Halloween too.
Yeah,
but,
we should try it this year.
But it just gets so overcrowded, and there's no parking's the worst part. When people I know have gone. And our last one in the category of name the TV animal, probably one of the more well-known ones.
Oh yeah, how could you forget this?
And this was, who played her? Was that Garland?
Judy Garland.
Judy Garland played the actress.
Yeah.
And the dog, I don't know his real name, but can you name this dog, this animal? Nance, what's his name?
Toto.
Toto, that's correct. A lot of you look like you knew that answer. Now it's time for the Papa Mozo pause. This is a time when we remind everyone of why we are here. Please help out if you can. The link to donate is below. Next category is something completely different. We're moving on to name this vintage item. A lot of you people probably won't remember these items, or they weren't around in your lifetime, but a lot of these items were in Nancy and my households when we were growing up. This first one here, the top part was used to pop off bottle caps, and the bottom part was used for something else. Can you guess what this vintage item is? Nancy, you recognize this?
Yeah, it's a can opener.
That's right. The can opener is the answer. Don't forget to put your answers in the chat. I will be keeping score later on. Moving on to this. God, we went through tons of these in our life. We had these all around the house. Now they're basically non-existent. Does anyone know what this is before we give it away? It was a storage for something.
You could store money in it.
Nowadays, you're right. Now, in the early going, actually, we would keep quarters in it, like you're saying, for toll booths.
Yeah.
But nowadays, the tolls are automatic, so you can't even use it for that.
No, you don't even need them for that.
But with this Nance?
Oh, those are the film canisters.
The film cases, yeah. You have the film inside it. You take the film out. You put in your camera. You take your pictures. You take the film out of the camera, put it back in the case, and send it away to have pictures made. So that's a film case.
Now everything's instant gratification. You didn't have to wait several days or.
It's digital.
Well, you had to wait a few days, but then it got to the point where you could have your photos in 2 hours. But now everything is instant gratification.
Right. Everything's digital.
Everything's digital.
This one, I'd be surprised if anyone gets this one. Nowadays, you go into a store, they hand them your credit card, they stick it in a machine, or they stick it in the register, and your purchases are put on your credit. But that's not the way it was done before. This device was sitting down there, and they would put the credit card down, the piece of carbon paper on top, that big handle on top would be slid across, and that is how you would read your credit card.
I remember getting it stuck sometimes. It would be hard.
Yeah, it was very hard to pull back.
It's like you really had to use your muscles.
Right. So I don't notice many people getting that right in the chat, but that's what that was. This one's a interesting device. I know we had these in our house. I don't know if you had them in yours.
Yeah.
That's a metal tray on the bottom, and that top thing that looks like your spine.
I know it does.
Would go inside that metal, and well, you can guess, but basically you'd pour water in that, and when the on the very end there, the very left side that you can't see, that was a handle, and it was frozen. You'd pull the handle, and that was the old-fashioned ice cube trays. Did you have one of those in your house?
We did. You had to be careful because you can cut yourself.
Yeah, it was interesting. And nowadays it's just a plastic thing that you twist.
Twist. Yeah.
Okay, and next one on Name This Vintage Item. These are empty. There's usually something inside these. These were everywhere when we were growing up. You couldn't go anywhere without having one of these hanging around. Nowadays, I don't think I see these things anywhere.
No.
Do you know what they are offhand?
Yeah, I do.
And what were these used for, Nance?
To make a phone call.
That's right. Those inside each one of those slots was a payphone. And you had a bunch here, and that's because that was probably the bus stop or something like that where a bunch of people would make a phone call at the same time. So each one of those would house a payphone, which you'd put coins in and you'd make a phone call. Yeah, no cell phones back then. And it's like the old phone booths. I should have had a picture of one of those along in here too. But that's what these were for, to house payphones. This one was in probably every car for years and years and years. And you would slide this is the bottom of it. You would slide this into a hole in your car. And the hole is still there. They use it for other things now, cords and different things like that. But this device here, this little device, you look at the bottom. Does anyone have a guess what this is? Another hint would be once you put the bottom of that and you pop it into the hole in the car, you'd wait, and then it would pop up, and that would tell you that it was ready. You'd pull it out, and that bottom part that you're looking at now that's black was bright orange. And this was a cigarette lighter. So that's how people back then would do it. Nowadays, since smoking is kind of the taboo, you don't see this in cars anymore. In our last vintage item, this again was used by us all the time, especially when we're taking pictures. And nowadays, of course, everything's digital and automatic, but this is what we would use on the top of our cameras if it was like a dark picture and we wanted it to be bright. What were these, Nance? You know what these
flash
were?
Cubes.
Right, the flash cubes. You'd have 4 bulbs. You pop it in, you'd be able to take 4 pictures, then you'd have to take it out, throw it away, and pop in another one.
Yeah, they come in a 4-pack, right?
Well, there's 4 on the cube.
Oh, I see.
So you get 3 cubes, so you have 12.
Yeah, I see.
Because you could get
That's right. Yeah.
film, you could get 12 picture rolls. So, and you just use them until you use them once. That was a weird thing. So those were the vintage things. Be curious to know how many of these things you guys actually remember.
Now it's time for the Papamozo pause. This is the time that we remind everyone of why we are here. Please help out if you can. The link to donate is down below.
Well, Nancy, it looks like we're getting towards the end of our hour. So we'll move on to whatever games we can get in here. And the next one is Name This Board Game. Our first one is one that was an interesting one. I don't think anyone ever played by the rules. You know, it was a lot of questions, but no one really wanted to go around the board and wait for the questions to come up. So I remember we used to take shortcuts, and we'd ask a question. If you got it right, you got a piece of the pie. You remember this game?
Yeah, I do. I like this game, and we played the shorter version as well. It's Trivial Pursuit.
Right. I guess if anyone was really peeking, they could see the name on the corner of that picture. I just noticed it. Next one. I never played this game. Did you play this game?
I learned to play in college, but I don't remember. I didn't play very often, and someone had to teach me every time they wanted me to play because I forgot the rules.
Yeah. I'm not really even sure what the rules are on this, but it was called what? You know?
Backgammon.
That's right. This is backgammon. Moving on to the next game. I never played it. Well, I may have played it just here and there, but I didn't really care for this game. It was when you had a car as your piece,
Yeah, I
and you had
remember
to fill it
this.
with a family
Yeah,
or
I never
something.
played it that much either.
Yeah. But it was very popular.
Yeah, it was.
Anyone know the name of this one? Put it down in the chat. Like I said, all answers in the chat. You're going to be checked at the end of the show. And what was this game called?
Game
of Life, right?
Milton Bradley, right?
Well, sure, I'll go with that. I like this because I'm into mysteries, and this was kind of fun trying to solve the mystery of it. You go from room to room, you try and find the weapon and the murderer and stuff like that.
I played this when I worked with the special needs kids in high school.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's an interesting game. It was fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
And once again, the game is called what?
Clue.
And I notice I have it right in the middle of the board there, so hopefully people just kind of looking and they're not really taking it in, the whole thing.
When we had indoor recess, we'd pull out all the board games.
Yeah. This game was a lot of fun. I don't think you had it. I had it growing up, and you'd put down you'd either be white or black. There was white on one side, black on the other. And whatever color you were, you'd put it down and you'd try and surround the other guy's piece, and then that would flip this to your color. And basically, give you a correct answer for one of two guesses on this. Do you know the name of this game by chance?
No.
This game was Othello, called Othello.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that's a game I knew it by, but there are a lot of people who have this game. It looks almost identical. I don't know if it's a different brand, and they call it Reversi. So
really?
if you had either Othello or a Reversi in the chat, we will give you credit for that.
No, I never played this.
I had a lot. I used to do this when I would go down. We go down to visit your mother, and you guys be sitting in the kitchen talking. I go in the other room and I play this to death.
I remember that.
And I get quite good at it. It's a lot of fun. You try and get the pegs, be able to guess the pegs in the right order that someone laid them out. And you'd only have, what is that, 10, 5, 9 guesses, 10 guesses to get it right. Anyone know what this game is? Do you know the name of this game?
Minecraft?
Nope. Mastermind.
Mastermind.
You get the mind part right. Okay, this is an easy one. I love playing this. I wish I had someone to play with now, but I just really don't have people around that like to play this. But this is a fun game. I used to play this against my father, and I played against my father-in-law. And my kids never get into it, though.
No, they didn't.
And this is, guesses here. You guys should all have this one right. This is what, Nance?
Chess.
Correct. How many people actually play this game by the rules?
I know.
I remember playing this game numerous times, but all we would do was set up the pieces and let the marble run through it.
Yeah,
right?
that's all we did too. We didn't play it right way.
So how many of you had this game? How many of you played this and actually played it by the correct rules? And the name of this game is? You know the name of this game?
Mousetrap.
Mousetrap, right. Another fun game, very simple game, fun game. You're trying to get your color in a row, either diagonally or straight or across. And you just drop it in the top, it goes down, and you hope to have them all in a row.
Mm-hmm.
Who had this game? What's the name of this game? Name this game. Nancy, what's this called?
Connect 4.
Connect 4. Another one which This powered on batteries, so it actually make a noise if you did it wrong. But this, you'd have the body, and you'd have to pick the little bones out of it with the metal tweezers without touching the sides, or it would set off a buzzer. Who had this game? What's the name of this game? Name this game. Nance?
Operation.
That's right. I'm sure everyone's played this at one time or another, right? Me and you, we actually, this is one of the few games that we still play, and we'll still sit down and have games of. I think it's a lot of fun. It takes a while to play, of course, and it's relaxing. So this game is, you know the name of this game?
Yeah, this is Scrabble.
Scrabble. And our last one in this category was a game, if you can guess this game, this is a game that Nancy used to play with our son all the time. It's a long game, and for some reason they got into this, and this was their thing. You'd buy property, which is a lot cheaper than it would cost to buy property nowadays. You remember playing this with your son?
Oh yes, and this was a lot of fun. He was very good at it. Monopoly.
Yep, Monopoly. Okay, so that ends this particular category. Now it's time for the Papa-Mozo pause. This is a time when we remind everyone of why we are here. Please help out if you can. The link to donate is below. And our final category of the game is Name This Creator. We only have one creator today. Can you guess his name? If anyone gets this wrong, then obviously they haven't been watching any of the past 48 hours of this marathon. Don't know if you're watching Papa-Mozo, but if you are, the best of luck. We're all with you.
Now it's time for the Papa-Mozo pause. This is the time that we remind everyone of why we are here. Please help out if you can. The link to donate is down below.
And remember, stay young and have fun.